Even though E3 doesn't exist anymore, it still lives on, as the big gaming groups still meet up every early June to show off the gaming stuff coming in the next 18 months. In this post-E3 world, I felt as if the E3 weekends were pretty good, showing off some hard-hitting stuff, but it wasn't close to E3. Don't get me wrong, E3 was not perfect. It had a lot of problems. Its death was not only inevitable, but had been a topic for a hot minute. The reason why I, and probably you, look at E3 so fondly was because it was a singular event on the calendar where the entire industry got together to share stuff. And while we still have events that are physical, we're never going to get a whole weekend full of gaming's biggest studios getting together. It's just never going to happen again. But for whatever reason, I found E3 2026 to be really good. There are some weak points and nitpicks that I have, and not every single showcase had back-to-back bangers, but even then, I think everything was solid. I'm not looking back at any of these shows and thinking, yeah, that one was pretty bad. Dare I say that it leaves me optimistic about the next year for gaming. In this video, I'm going to go over the 4 main events that have happened over E3 weekend, and I'm going to talk about the games that I find interesting, with some tangents to go alongside them. I will not talk about everything, because there's definitely a video somewhere that has already done that. Starting off with PlayStation, if there's anything I can say about them, is that they're usually straightforward in how they present. They don't make a speech about what the PlayStation brand means to people, they just show you whatever shit they have at that point in time. God of War Laufey and Wolverine. These are the big two. The God of War Laufey reveal was 20 minutes long, a solid third of the entire show. Jesus Christ. And I'm a little mixed on it. It's interesting to have a game where we play as Laufey during the events of the God of War games, but part of what makes these games interesting to me is how Kratos interacts with these gods. We want to see Kratos interact with Mongolian and Egyptian gods, just as we did with the Norse. It's not a bad idea to play as someone else, but it's just going to take some time to get used to. A theory I do have for this game is that while it starts during God of War 2018, it's probably going to end after Ragnarok in order to set up something for Kratos and Atreus, because they probably want to give them something new to do without wiping the slate clean. As for Wolverine, I don't have much to say than it's a Wolverine game made by Insomniac. There's a level of quality that will be met, and this game will bring in a new wave of Wolverine and X-Men fans. But let's talk about the real Marvel shit. Since its reveal a year ago, I've been begging for Magneto and or Cyclops to be put into Marvel Tokon, and I got Magneto. Carnage and Green Goblin are also two very welcome additions, all these characters look sick, and that's pretty much it. There's not much to say when it comes to fighting game character announcements because you just need the game and the characters to look cool. That alone is enough to get people interested. And that's me. I'm people. Rayman Legends Retold was a surprise for sure. I saw this and I started fucking coming everywhere. I expected Rayman to stay as one of Ubisoft's neglected IPs, but they decided to bring it back, giving it the Sonic and Shadow Generations treatment where it's a remaster with bonus levels. It also means that we're one step closer to the Rabbids Kart game, so get the fuck on with it, I need that. There was also Control Resonant. I'm only mentioning this because I was a fan of the first game, so naturally seeing a sequel makes me want to try it out. I don't really know if I'm going to play this day one, though it does come out in 3 months. I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale. Ill? Holy shit, this game looks so good. It was originally revealed at last year's Summer Games Fest, being shown again here, with more focus on narrative and the polish the game has gotten over the past year. This is very high on my list, as visually alone, it seems like the devs are going less for something jumpscare heavy and more, let's make something that is very uncomfortable to look at, which is a niche that this game scratches for me. I'm very eager to try out this game and I'll get my hands on it as soon as I can. Kamuri was a game that also got my attention. It's a co-op yokai possession action game where you hunt yokai and you wear them for upgrades that have drastic changes on how you fight and move. There's not really much to say as the game is still in very early development, so I'm gonna leave it at, the game looks nice, the premise is kind of interesting, and I'll be looking out for it in the future. The last thing I'll mention for the PlayStation State of Play is Until Dawn 2. Not because it's hype or anything, but because there's that part in the trailer where the girl tries to save her boyfriend by pushing him off a cliff, and then he dies. It's kind of funny because it's edited to be a very serious moment, but it just really isn't. It's just fucking hilarious. And that's pretty much the PlayStation State of Play. I felt as if this show was built to sort of clap back against the waves of skepticism PlayStation has been getting, due to recent investments into live service games, which, let's be honest, have not worked out so far. That's probably why the God of War reveal was a third of the entire show, basically convincing us that they're not going anywhere when it comes to single-player experiences. But overall, they're still doing okay. Unlike Xbox, I don't even know what the hell is going on over there. The chances of you and I saying something positive about Xbox in a single breath is more likely than Destiny 3 coming back from the grave. Too soon? Yeah, it's too soon. Now, normally, Xbox just doesn't have a lineup of games to the same degree as PlayStation, if we're gonna go band for band. This year, it's no different. But we did get Persona 6. I know it's just a title drop, but Persona 6 is still a big deal, right? It was that, Gears of War E-Day, and Spyro. Those were the biggest topics from the Xbox showcase. Halo was also there, but it's a remaster of a game they already remastered. I don't care. So you're telling me that there's a new Crazy Taxi after the last one came out in 2007 for the PSP, and Sega admitted that they're using AI for the background assets? For fuck's sake. Clockwork Revolution. This game was revealed at the last Xbox showcase. It's a steampunk aesthetic RPG that a lot of people are saying is reminiscent of BioShock. I feel like at best this game is going to be really good, and at worst it's going to feel very dated, and I feel as if no matter which one it is, I'm going to get entertainment value either way, so I'm going to try it when it comes out next year. There was yet another Fable trailer, this time revealing a release date for February of 2027. This game is never coming out, while also showing off a return of the IP's main antagonist, the Jack of Blades. That's pretty cool. There's a Doom the Dark Ages DLC on the way that apparently is fucking huge, according to Hugo Martin. It's basically like a sequel, it's just ginormous. I don't know if he's talking about the Doom DLC or fucking Flats' crown. And to top it off, we got our yearly supply of Fallout 76, ESO, and Sea of Thieves updates, because those are inevitable. And that's pretty much the Xbox showcase. I will admit I did breeze through the games faster than I did PlayStation, but because I do want to talk about the console exclusivity, I feel like that's more important. At the start of the show, Asha Sharma came out and said that Gears of War E-Day will be a console exclusive. Later in the show, they revealed that Clockwork Revolution will too be an exclusive when it comes out in 2027, essentially giving people reasons to buy an Xbox, which is cool. We want them to do that. But the games are also on Steam, so what do you mean by exclusive? Asha's era of Xbox so far has consisted of making small changes to the Xbox brand, as well as cleaning up messes left behind by Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond, which all seems good, but there is doubt, as this era so far has not seen a game come out yet. Hell, you can argue it's off to a worse start than we thought, because as I'm recording this, Xbox has just shut down Ninja Theory. The ramifications of Phil's spending spree are starting to kick in. I don't think Gears of War E-Day is going to completely undo all the bad stuff Xbox has done, nor do I think Gears of War has the power to put Xbox back in contention, but I do think the Asha era starts with it. In about 4 years or so, if we ever get there, we will see what she has truly done. The problem is that even though it's a console exclusive, it's still on Steam because of Game Pass. That puts them in a harder position than anyone else. PlayStation can just choose to stop making PC ports and focus on consoles. They can do that because there's nothing tying them into having to create things for the PC space. Xbox does not have that luxury. If they stop PC ports and do true console exclusivity, it hurts Game Pass for the entire PC market. And if they keep things as it is right now with Xbox and PC, it means there will still be zero incentive to buy an Xbox. It's funny, because Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond were so invested in Game Pass that it actively hurt the console space. With Asha, it could be the inverse, where pushing console growth can harm Game Pass. Now, you could solve this by removing the PC part of Game Pass entirely, making the subscription console only, giving people an easier time to migrate into the Xbox ecosystem, etc. But I don't know if they're willing to cut off an entire population of their audience just like that. Time will tell what happens, as this is one of the many challenges Asha and Xbox will have to go through if they want to be even close to the top. Speaking of top, let's talk about SGF, as it's the biggest event every E3 weekend, and not by a small margin. It's also the only event in this video that uses a venue with a stage and a real audience and production and all that shit. If you're a masochist like me, you love the Jeff shows because he hits you with the stuff you want to hear, followed by complete bullshit. And yet, I still come back every year. I think it says more about me than it does him. Last year, we had Mind's Eye and the Make FPS Great Again guy. It was pretty hard to beat. This year, we got Godzilla in Sonic Racing and the Soul of Tupac in an RGG game. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it only happens at a Jeff event. He wills this shit into being, I promise you. There's no one else on the planet that could have made this happen. Before we get to the games, I just want to mention how the stream quality was some of the worst Jeff seal of approval type shit I've ever seen, alright? The YouTube stream, alright, the video is in 4K, but it's desynced from the audio. The audio is like 3 seconds ahead. And then you go to the Twitch stream, where it's synced up, but it's in 720p, fucking avoiding the puddle green ass, and it had frame rate problems. Pick your poison. I digress. SGF started off really strong. RE Code Veronica, Alien Isolation 2, Cuphead 2. We got a look at Gen Atlas, which is Fumito Ueda's next game, so expect the Shadow of the Colossus experience with huge-ass mechs. Hex was also there. It looks pretty fucking weird. And then we kinda got off the rails a little, not in the sense of bad announcements, but in the sense that these announcements focused more on the games narratively and atmospherically, instead of really showing or talking about the game in depth. Now, you could say that this isn't an SGF issue, it's more of an industrial issue, as companies are aware that they can sell you on immersion and narrative. They don't have to show you gameplay of the video game to make you interested, and I'm not immune to that. I was just gushing about how cool it looks. But I am bringing it up at Jeff's door because his shows are the biggest and the longest, frequently reaching a 2-hour mark. You can also say that I'm just being nitpicky. That's fair. Going back into the games, 1666 Amsterdam is made from the minds of the original Assassin's Creed, which can be felt almost bar for bar in the trailer, but it seems like it's going to go for a darker tone, about witchcraft and shit. I like that. Now, there was a prologue that came out, but people instantly found out that AI was used, so that's fun. There's a Ninja Turtles game on the way, TMNT The Last Ronin, based on the comics of the same name. There's not much to say because we did not see a lick of gameplay, but if it's going to be like the comics, it's going to be about Michelangelo being the lost turtle, and he's going to avenge his brothers. Guild Wars 3 is another big drop here, as Guild Wars is one of those games that a lot of people play and or know about, but it's not a huge game, if that makes sense. I say this as an outsider looking in, so I could be wrong. What I do know is that having a new game after Guild Wars 2 came out in 2012, it's a big deal. And then to wrap up SGF, we have Monster Hunter Wilds DLC called Ascendance. Can't say much, I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan. We had a list of the Street Fighter 6 Year 4 DLC characters, 3 new characters with Tifa, and then Final Fantasy VII Revelation, the third and final part of a trilogy that is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not care that Tifa is in Street Fighter. That's fine. I know that there are some Street Fighter people that are really upset at a third collaboration character, but I don't care for Tifa. I'm more upset about the fact that I'm gonna have to wait another year for them to put Oro's nuts in the game. I'm not even joking. I kind of really want them to put Oro back in the game just to see if they're gonna do this again, because it would be a very funny day when people find out. As for Tifa in Street Fighter 6, I mean, it's fine. It's not gonna motivate me to come back because it's not gonna undo all the problems that I currently have with Street Fighter 6. But if you wanna go play her, that's fine. Thanks, Jeff. Other than the shit quality from the streams, I don't think you really pissed off everyone this time with a Highguard-like announcement. You're good. And now we move on to Nintendo. I think the overall reception of the Direct was pretty mixed, as Nintendo has a diverse set of games, but they have an audience where the majority only cares about Mario, Zelda, and Smash. So when they don't get either of those, they think it's ass. Looking at what was revealed, it seems like it's going to be another slow year for Nintendo, going into the second year of the Switch 2. At least that's what I would say if Arlo didn't write my opinion for me. In all seriousness, we still got games coming out, not only within the next month, but within the next couple of days as well. It's just that everyone is wondering where the next mainline Mario game is. As for me, Rhythm Heaven in July and a Duskblood Summer Network test? Big W. Have you seen this JRPG Rhythm Heaven mode? This thing looks fucking stupid. I really want to play it. If you're a JRPG guy, aren't you just a fat fuck this E3? Summer Games Fest gave you Final Fantasy VII, Xbox gave you Persona 6, and now Nintendo's given you Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Xenoblade Genesis, and Kingdom Hearts 4? You're a fat fuck. And, if you're chronically online, you got Deltarune Chapter 5. And that pretty much sums up E3 2026. I know I didn't talk about release dates and all that sort of informational stuff, because we all know that most games, whether I've mentioned them or not, are either steering clear from GTA 6 or are just so far away that there's no point on even speculating when they're going to come out. As for the next video, if it ever happens, it definitely will not be video game related to this extent, where I'm talking about the industry. I don't think I'm really going to make a video like that again unless there's some sort of cataclysmic event where I feel the need to really strongly talk about it for 10 minutes. But who knows, maybe I will make another video, and it's all your fault.